Hey everybody, Thacia here with Legacy of Light in conjunction with Wellness Center here in Menasha, Wisconsin. Coming to you today for one of my 365 days of sharing from my heart to yours. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about perception and just how when we change our perception, you could change the outcome of a situation. And one that just happened today was a couple months ago I signed up for this VIP club so I could get, 50% off this leggings company. So, and that was supposed to be $5 a month. Well, I paid the initial $5 and then didn't get anything last month, and then today they took out $50. So in the past I would have freaked out, spazzed out, been really angry, wondering why the world's doing this to me, because and on top of that, this was to go towards some bills, and also I needed gas in a few days to make a trip. But I decided to just have calm thoughts and call and talk to them and try to figure this out. And that's what I did. And in the midst of it, I started getting frustrated, because at first they were not going to give me back any money, and I was instead of projecting my anger onto the person and having the perception that they were doing this to me, I chose to, look at it in a way of how would I like to be, talked to if I was talking to myself on the other line, and what could we do? And even though I knew what they were doing, and I knew that it was, it is a form of scamming, I still just sent them love, and I talked to them, and we worked out a deal where I was okay with this deal. And I'm going to get some money, not all of it back, but in the end, it came to an outcome that I was okay with. And that I, because I chose to change my perception. And on top of that, I had forgotten that every time I get money now, that I'm putting this, 10% of it aside, so that, I can do things, at my center, or things, that are spiritually nourishing me, so to speak. So then I realized, oh yeah, I have money in there that I can use for my gas money this weekend. And just what a beautiful experience that today was for me, because I chose to change my perception of the situation and say, okay, what lesson is here, or what gift is here if I change my perception and I don't go through this situation like I would have done every other time in the past. And it, in the end, has brought me just to a place of peace. And I didn't feel resentment against this person or this company. And I was talking with a friend after it, and just explaining that and he was like, yeah, but they, why do they have to be like that? Or, and why? And it just made me realize that I was accepting of the situation, because I realized that, everything that happens in our life has our permission. It's not happening to me or against me because of whatever reasons. Like, I gave this situation permission to come into my life. And I believe it's so that I can change my perception and be okay with it and feel blessed and feel like, because I could change my perception and I don't believe that it was done against me, like this changes the outcome, and it changes the outcome of things that will come after. Like, I won't have to keep struggling in this situation because I went through it. I'm not still living in it because of my perception. And you can put this on any situation that you have. If we just stop and think for a minute, am I perceiving this situation like I always have? Because you know what they say is insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So that's the same thing with your perception. Are you perceiving that situation like you always have? You're going to get the same results. You're going to get the same frustration. You're going to get the same anger and resentment against these situations, against these things happening to you, that you always will, until you choose to change your perception, to look at it from a different light. Okay, what am I to be shown here? Or what can I gain here from changing my perception and not believing or being the victim of everything? And knowing that it's my choice. It's my choice how I react. It's my choice how I behave when anything happens in my life, whether I perceive it as good or bad. How am I going to react? How do I want to react to receive the desires and the blessings that my heart does want? It's my choice. You know, and it's like that statement, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be that perception that you wish to see. You know, if you want love, you have to be love. If you want peace, you have to be that peace. And it will gravitate to you. And just awareness of everything that we do is a huge change for you, a huge catalyst for that change. Because when you come aware of your perceptions and you can change them and have a different one and see what that does for you, see what that does to change the outcome. And because I had my perception, it didn't matter that I didn't get 100% refund. I was okay with it. I thought, okay, I can live with the 75% refund, even though I know what you're doing is, it's deceitful. It was deceitful, but I wasn't mad and I wasn't harmed. And I was able to see what was going on. And I was able to be okay with it in my heart because of my perception, because I chose to not look at it the way that I had every other time something like that had happened. You sign up for one thing and then suddenly it's not really that thing. And that happens in life because everybody is on their own path. Those are the choices they made. And they don't have to affect me. And I have to know that I okayed that. To be everything that comes into my existence, my plane has been okayed by me. when you start looking at things like that, you see yourself less as a victim, and you perceive yourself as the victor. As, okay, so what? This happened? Like, I'm still okay. I'm still all right. And you know what? Because of my forethought and my willingness to want to nourish my soul in my spiritual path, I had set money aside. So I already knew, something was going to happen, and I am just so grateful that I was able to have this experience and to change my perception and to feel good about it, not just change my perception and be like, well, whatever, and still angry with the situation, still angry with the person, angry with the company. That wouldn't mean that I really changed my perception, and the outcome would be the same. Like another aspect of his years probably ago, I would have forgave the person, been like, well, whatever, that's just how life is, but it would have still hurt me. And I would have not understood, how can that person be like that? Why would they want to live like that? And now I don't have to worry about why they're like that, or why is this happening to me, or what is wrong with this world and the people. We all have our own path and our own choices. And the biggest choice we can make is how we perceive everything around us. And what we want to see around us. And just to have grace and love for everything around us. And just know that we all have free choice. We all have free will to do the things that we want to do. And just to accept everything that comes into your path. And just know that it's been literally okay by you. Just let that sink in. It's been used, in a couple of talks that I talked about, everything is for our positive growth. So we've okayed these things to come into our lives for our positive growth. So that we can have a different perception. And it can literally change your life. And the things that come into your life. And you can let go of the lesson there. You don't have to keep going through it. It's not going to keep happening because you changed your perception. You changed the outcome of the situation by your perception. So, if you resonated with this video, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, in the description has other ways to get in contact with me. And just know that you are all eternally adored and loved at every moment. Not just the beautiful high moments, but also the low moments where you feel like there is nothing there. You are eternally adored in that moment. You are eternally loved in that moment, as well as every moment. And there's nothing that any of us has to do or be to deserve this all either. So remember, you're loved and adored eternally. And I will see you tomorrow.